Hey guys, what's up? Dave by Brian here, and I am back yet again for another month of flea market and thrift store finds. So let's check out what I got this month for October, and I'll show you all the cool stuff I picked up this month. Alright, so let's start out first with video games. That's probably the smaller batch of stuff that I got to go through this month. I will start off with a couple of Sega Genesis titles that I've got here. Got a couple here. And first I will start off with, I guess, my loose cards I got here. I just picked up recently Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster's Hidden Treasure. I got that for like $7. I got like three of these games. Oh God, excuse me, 3 of these games in a bundle. Hiccups there for some reason. Picked up Ren and Stimpy shows. They're Ren and Stimpy's Invention. Why did I say the Ren and Stimpy show? It's confusing in the title. Just say Stimpy's Invention on the front of the card instead of on that label. But anyway, weird. Picked this up for $5, and not really worth $5, I don't think. I mean, it barely is, but it looks fun, and I love Ren and Stimpy, so why not? And the other day I picked this up. This is Kid Chameleon. Really cool game. I got for $3, and that's probably like a $15 to $20 game. Kind of uncommon. I picked this up at my local Goodwill. This is Pirate's Gold for the Sega Genesis, and this is missing the manual, but give or take, this is another like $20 to $30 game. Pretty uncommon, and what's kind of fun. I mean, you're doing everything you'd expect to be doing. Swashbuckling and invading towns and, causing trouble. There's another game that I also got that I don't know where I put at the moment. I got that in a bundle. It's Biohazard Battle for the Genesis, and I paid like $1 or like $1.50 for that. Also kind of uncommon, so cool space shoot 'em up game. Let's go through other stuff that I don't have a lot of. So I picked this up in a bundle also today. This is Zelda Oracle of Seasons. That's another one that I paid $6 for. Got all 3 for $20, which was a pretty good deal, I think. And Earthworm Jim 2 for the Super Nintendo, which is, Earthworm Jim's a really hard but really fun game. Maybe not really hard, but it's pretty hard, so I'm glad I picked that up. Those are all like $20 games, so getting 3 of them for $20, that's great. It's like 60 to 75% off when you pay at a game store. This I also got here as a bundle too. I got it at another flea market. This is Midway's Classic Arcade Collection with cool games like Sinistar and stuff like that on it. So again, paid like $1, $1.50 for that. So another cool find. The label's messed up. I actually thought this was Mega Man 64 because of the serial number at the bottom, but it says Midway, so what the hell was I thinking? I don't even know why I thought that. Really dumb. I got this for the ColecoVision, and this I actually thought was an Atari 2600 game. Now it seems like I'm getting fooled on a lot of games here. But this has like the SpectraVision label, so I thought it was like another SpectraVision title that I hadn't seen before. This is called Supercross Force for the ColecoVision, and paid $1 for that. It's worth about $20, so cool to add to my ColecoVision. Nothing against the ColecoVision, I just hate the controllers, and even Genesis ones don't work with it that well. So even though it has better graphics, and, some games that are better, I just don't really like playing the ColecoVision. It just feels weird. The 2600 and 7800 for me are more intuitive, whether you're using the old controller or whether you're using a Genesis controller. And let's see, show you guys these. I also grabbed, I picked up 2 CDI titles, which, like, where the heck do you see CDI stuff these days anymore? This is Connect 4 for the Philips CDI. And this is Rand McNally's America. So these aren't any of the big titles like the Zelda or Hotel Mario or anything, but still, CDI stuff is really rare to find just because nobody ever had the system back in the day. It was like a $900 or $1,200 system, so if people can't afford to buy $1,000 system, you know, how many people are going to have any games for it? You know, so even if they're not the greatest games, like, ooh, Connect 4, you know, nobody's running out and celebrating in the streets finding that. You know, they're both like $20 games that I paid $1 each for, but they're just cool, unusual things to find. And if you've never seen what a CDI game looks like, they come in these fancy little cases. It's like a menu almost, a DVD menu. And you push this little button here, and it pops open. It has like a poster with different games, and your registration card, and the the game or software inside of it. They're really neat. Like, you can tell CDI, like, you know, they were going for a classier system in their mind, I think. You know, because these games were like 1991, I think. So this is like, you know, CD technology only really came out at the very earliest, like 1988 to 89. So, you know, video games and software and CD format, like, that was mind-blowing at the time, like, just unheard of. So that was like, you know, they were really riding the high-tech wave of the future with their system. So cool to find. Aside from that, I also picked up a lot of Atari stuff, as usual, you know me. A lot of the stuff I got from my buddy Mel for $1 a piece. Picked up some cool titles, a lot of filler stuff I didn't have in my collection yet. We got Laser Blast, which is kind of like Missile Command, except you're shooting at like Space Invaders and like spaceships, flying saucers, and stuff like that. Pretty fun looking game. Flag Capture, which this is about a $5 game. It's actually kind of rare. It's like a scarce game, like on Atari Age, so it's just one away from being into the rare category. So it's a pretty uncommon game. Not really great, but just, you know, it's an earlier game, so you don't see it too much. Basic Math, that had like a calculator, like controller you hook up. Star Raiders, an early 2600 classic. Oops, stop that. This I got for free in a bundle today. This is Star Master, another cool-looking 2600 game. A lot like Star Raiders too, where like you're just flying through deep space and like going to different planets and shooting enemies that come at you. Street Racer. This is one of the earliest 2600 titles. It came out in '78. Slot Racers. Golf, and then this one I paid $10 for, but this is a really rare game. This is a Konami title for the 2600, and this is called Puyan. And no, I did not just say a dirty word. This is a fun little game where you're a pig trying to rescue your fellow pigs up a little pulley system elevator away from a fox that's like throwing fireballs and trying to pop their balloons and stuff. So it's a really goofy little game. And Konami was just kind of starting out as a company back then, so any of these early Konami games you see like this, I have another one called Strategy X, which is a tank combat game. They're really rare to find because, as you know, Konami would go on to be a big game developer, you know, and make a lot of hit titles. So the really early stuff for the 2600 is really rare, and some of it could be very valuable. I paid $10 for that, and that's give or take a $30 game. It can go as high as $50 if you have like the manual and stuff. Also, I got some NES stuff. I picked up Eliminator Vote Duel. Although I don't know if you can see or not, but on the front it says Eliminator Vote Duel. And that's a typo that the company did not notice. And a lot of people thought the game was rare as a result of it, but it's not. It's just like barely uncommon. But it's actually a really decent, fun game I paid $5 for. And just today I picked up Golf Grand Slam. Paid $20 for this, but it's supposed to be a really, really good golf game. And this is a pretty rare game. So I just wanted to get that into my collection. It looks really cool. And, you know, I love all types of uncommon stuff, so neat to find. I think that pretty much does it for video games. Well, there is one thing, but I'm saving that until the end. So now let's just go into other miscellaneous stuff that I found. So here I got some Choose Your Adventure stuff that I found as well. These are some Dungeons and Dragons from the board game Choose Your Own Adventure books, and they kind of have like a glossy feel to them on the front cover. They're really cool looking. Didn't even know they made them with the, they're not officially licensed Choose Your Own Adventure, but it's the same thing. You're just playing a Dungeons and Dragons game book form. And this one I thought was neat. This is an official Choose Your Own Adventure book, and it's called Sabotage, but it has pictures of like Nazis and like SS men and stuff, and it's like two kids like trying to like take down Hitler or a Nazi base or whatever. And it's just really crazy, this imagery in like a 1984, like 1986 book for kids. Like you would never see something like this in a bookstore today. Like people would go absolutely crazy. So, it's just weird to see like, what's more, accepted, or I guess what you could get away with back then, and what you definitely cannot today. So, that's just really cool and weird, just to see like Choose Your Own Adventure with like Germans on the front. That's crazy. So that's really cool. Well, I mean, except the Germans. And then I found a Wizards and Warriors and You book, which I think the and You part is weird. Wizards and Warriors and You. It's like those back to school things. It's like, the food pyramid and You. Wizards and Warriors and You. So I'm pretty sure this is based off of the same game. And there's another neat little find there. Also picked up a pack of Topps Little Shop of Horrors cards that are still sealed up, and love the design on these. Great cult classic because feed me, Seymour, it's Halloween. So grab that for $1. Really cool. This I also picked up as well. Got this at a flea market in South Jersey. This is an old Buster Brown Planet of the Apes kids t-shirt, so obviously not going to fit me, but love the color scheme of the blue and yellow and pink, and the apes on the front there. And I think it's Buster Brown. Come on, it's just so ridiculous and cool and camp. So really, really cool that I picked that up. Really like the design on that. Also picked this up about a week or so ago, or just this past week. Got this at a local Goodwill. This is Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal, which is one of my favorite movies, and this is for Laserdisc. So that's extremely, ridiculously rare to find this on Laserdisc. It's about an $18 to $30 disc. I paid $4 for it. The artwork on that is amazing. I have 2 copies of The Dark Crystal on VHS, and now I have this on Laserdisc. If you've never seen it, if you like stuff like The Labyrinth or Return to Oz, Wizard of Oz, The Neverending Story, stuff like this, definitely check out The Dark Crystal. It's an awesome, awesome movie, and once you see it, you will definitely be hooked. One of the coolest things that I found this month, which I think probably tops my list overall, I got off of my buddy Mel. I found an old Trapper Keeper. And it says on the front here, it says, I don't have my homework because my dog ate my brain. So how cool is this? Like, that just couldn't get any more 90s if it tried. And open this up here. And it has the little mesh spot here where you put papers, the notepad right here. And then how these would work is you pull this little tab down. You put all your folders and notebooks in there. Seal that up. And if you don't know what a Trapper Keeper is, like these things were such a big thing in the mid-80s. Like every single kid, like you weren't cool unless you had a Trapper Keeper when you were going back to school. And they're really neat. They're really insane looking and just fun. So I think that's what makes stuff like this from the 80s really fun and collectible and cool, is because like so much stuff nowadays, like toys and stuff, like it has no personality to it, and that's why I collect a lot of it. But anyway, moving right along, I also picked up a bunch of Transformers. Picked up all of these guys in a lot for like 50 cents each. First off, I got too many Transformers is what I got. But I've got Tailgate here. He's not a mini spy, but kind of like Brawn, like those other little mini, but he's a fully transformable guy. So he has the rub sign on him and everything. Picked up a G2 Mixmaster, which I love the yellow Constructicons. I think they look really cool. Love to get an all yellow Devastator. This guy, I don't remember his name, but this is a spark bot, and what they do is you rev up the little wheel on the back, and then they shoot sparks out of the back there. And I don't know what any of the names of these guys are, but these are all throttle bots, so that pretty much completes my collection of throttle bots. I have a little blue car here, a little white car, and a little red car. And for, I got like 15 of them for like $5, so I mean, you can't pass that up, even though they're just the Transformers basically nobody wants. They're that cheap. I got a lot of Transformers already, so they're great filler for my collection. And this I picked up for only $1, which I've been looking to get one for a while. And this is the, hey kids, we're home early! The Talk Boy from Home Alone. So this is really cool to find. Pretty much in brand new condition. It's missing a little piece on the bottom here that had like this little gray plastic that jutted out. But other than that, it's absolutely perfect condition. And I haven't tested it out yet, but it looks like it'll work just fine. So cool to pick one of them up as they go for now, give or take $20 online. It seems like everything I get is about $20. I mean, not that I pay for it, but that's what it's worth. Just that's kind of odd. Also, I picked up a Turok Dinosaur Hunter comic from Valiant. I have 2 of these already. Got a lot of the Super Mario Brothers ones, and I like picking up anything Nintendo or video game related, so that's very cool. I had to grab that for $1. Picked this little dude up for 50 cents. This is Mickey, little PVC guy from Fantasia. He's in his Sorcerer. Wait, well, no, it's Sorcerer's Apprentice and Fantasia. Same difference. He's got the hat on and the wands. Really cool. Glad I got that. And I picked up 3 of these guys in a lot deal for $5. Some more Mad Balls. So this guy I already had. This was Hornhead. This one I didn't have. This is Oculus Orbis, a big eyeball with the veins sticking out and everything. And this one is from a set called, I believe, Oddballs or Weird Balls, and this is Freaky Freddy, which they're knockoffs of the Mad Balls. He's a knockoff of Slobulus from the Mad Balls. So these are really, really rare because they're knockoffs, so you don't see them anywhere. So he's worth about 30 to 50. And the Mad Balls are in the same price range, generally about 25 to $50, depending on condition and which one they are. So getting all of them for like $2 a piece is insane. You'll never find them that cheap. It's very, very cool find. A couple of other neat things that I found here too. I've never seen one of these before out in the wild, and then now I found 2 in the past 2 weeks. This is an old Texas Instruments TI 1200 calculator with the box and the instructions on the back. There's the calculator. Has that Atari kind of wood grain look to it with the big buttons. The metal faceplate. This is very distinctly the 70s, and these calculators were some of the very first ever made because Texas Instruments was one of the first companies to patent the processor for doing basic math computations. So this would have came out around 1972 or 1974, and they still totally work. So I found that one for $1. And then just today, actually, I found this guy, too. This is a TI-30. This is a Texas Instruments scientific calculator, which I imagine this is probably much more uncommon because this technology and its little processor in there is extremely advanced for early 70s. Like, some basic PCs were barely around, so that, the fact that a calculator could do algebra in the mid-70s is, mind-blowing. So that's another cool little find. I love how they look. Let me see here. And then I also found, oh yeah, I forgot I got this for PC. This is Gary Grigsby's Pacific War big box PC game set. And I paid $5 for this. I have no clue what it's worth. I just thought it's cool because I like to try to preserve old floppy disk and PC games. Actually came with an extra disc in here. There's Pacific War. And then Carrier Strike. And then it even came on 5 1/4 floppies. So how cool is that? Like, you don't see a lot of 5 1/4 floppies out in the wild. So very cool to find that on a floppy as well. Alright. And I also found, I think that's just about everything. I found a ton of VHS stuff this month. So let me go through all of that. I got Bloodsport 2. Fantastic movie. Revenge of the Nerds, one of my favorite comedies, absolutely hilarious. Howard the Duck, a cult classic. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. Definitely look that up on Netflix or whatever. Very funny movie. This was a really odd find. Are they all sliding out of here? The Super Mario Brothers movie, which was terrible, but really, really very, very rare VHS to find out in the wild. I paid 10 cents each for most of these, and a few I paid $1 for. The original Willow, which I remember watching this as a kid, and that's scaring the crap out of me for some reason. I have no idea why. Skeleton Warriors. Another unusual find, paid $1 for that, but love the artwork on the front. The original Spaceballs, absolute classic. These two I just recently picked up. These are Ghostbusters cartoon. Now, they're not the Ghostbusters that you're thinking of because there was a lot of copyright problems with the Ghostbusters and the real Ghostbusters. If you remember when the first film came out, it was just called Ghostbusters. And then the cartoon came out in the 80s and it was called The Real Ghostbusters. The reason is because this series of the Ghostbusters was already a live-action show that it came on TV in the late 70s, and they sued Columbia Pictures over the name of Ghostbusters. So that's why the cartoon got renamed The Real Ghostbusters, and that's why in Ghostbusters 2 you hear them referencing, in the movie, they're like, oh, we're the real Ghostbusters, just to kind of say, hey, we're cool, we don't want any more lawsuits, So yeah, these are fun little shows too. It's like they drive around this flying car, and it's absolutely nothing at all like the Ghostbusters everybody knows and loves. But it was a fun cartoon show, and I remember loving that when I was a kid and watching it. So really cool. And then finally here, I got Brave Star for $1. Love that picture art with the blue cartoon on the front. Really, really cool. Don't see a lot of Brave Star stuff anywhere. And then Cops Fighting Crime in a Future Time. Another cool cartoon show. That does it for my VHS, but I got one last find that I saved till the very end. Hopefully I can get this up here. Oof. And this is the NES Miracle Piano Teaching System. So pretty unbelievable that I came across this. I paid $25 for this. It is complete in box, except it is missing the cable that hooks up from the piano to the Nintendo. Still, this is about a $50 to $80 item just with the box. Everything else in it. Some of the manuals are still sealed. It has the game, the foot pedal, the keyboard, obviously, and everything in there. And just a really neat find. And I kind of wondered when nobody else had picked this up already when I saw it at a flea market I usually go to, because everybody's all over anything video game related. Well, you'll notice on the box, aside from this logo here, it doesn't really call out anything Nintendo. There's no Nintendo seal except for, can't really move too well, this gigantic beast. But there's the Nintendo seal on the back. So I think a lot of people just walk by it, and if you don't know what this is, you just think, oh, yeah, it's just a keyboard, in the box, so nobody's going to have an interest in it. But me being the very knowledgeable nerd that I am, knew exactly what this was and couldn't zip over to an ATM fast enough to snatch this thing up. And definitely one of the coolest and most unusual finds I've had in a long time. But I still think the winner of the month goes to the Trapper Keeper find. That is just probably my favorite thing I have seen, quite possibly for the year out of all my flea market finds. I mean, this is just too cool, So really awesome that I found that. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for October for flea market and thrift store finds. Hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at all the crazy nonsense that I found over the past month with some spooky-related toys and other types of weird stuff that I've found over this month with Halloween. So remember, keep hitting those thrift stores and flea markets out there. You never know what you're going to find. And make sure to hit me up on Twitter and share pictures of stuff that you guys are finding too. I definitely want to see all of your finds too. So take care, guys. Hope you all have a great Halloween. See you next time.
Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And if you do the Facebook, Twitter thing, follow me at #KimmeRetro. See you next time.